Hey everybody. Okay, so since I did the 75% hydration on the first dough, this one I did 800 grams of bread flour, I did 150 grams of rye, and I did 50 grams of spelt for a total of 1,000. I decided to go ahead and do an 80% hydration on this one, which is 800 grams of water, just so that maybe through this process I can show you the difference, and we can see at the end if it makes a difference in the results. Now, I did use different flours, so that will factor in, but it'll be fun just to compare as we go along. So this one has 800 grams of water, and well, I'm gonna go ahead and mix it so you can see it. I think you can see me get all messy again. Now, the one thing I don't like is our home that we live in was built, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was 1958. And it's been refurbished a little bit. I have to say, after 20 years of designing luxury kitchens, it's super modest compared to the kitchens I would have designed, but I love it. It's my happy place. So I love my little, well, that's a lie. I'm grateful for my little 30-inch Kenmore range, and I'm grateful for my little standalone fridge. One thing we don't have though is we don't have a disposal, and we don't have great drainage. The plumbing under this house isn't wonderful, so I try really hard not to basically put a lot of dough and flour down the drain, because if you've ever worked with wet flour, it basically becomes a paste, and that'll gum up your pipes really quickly. I also try not to use any of my dish towels or anything to clean up my hands, because that just means that flour and that paste basically is going to go into my washing machine and gum up those pipes, if not destroy my washing machine. So at the moment, my best solution is I go through a lot of paper towels, as I use paper towels a lot to clean off my hands, and so I can put that in the trash and not down the drain. And I hate that I go through so much paper towels. So if anybody has a great idea that I could be doing instead, I would love to hear it. I've looked into the not just recycled, but like bamboo paper towels and things like that, and they're just still so expensive, as they're still pretty niche and not really readily available. So I just use way too many for what they would cost to do like a bamboo or something. But I don't know if you can see, but already this dough, you can see it's a lot more wet. It's a lot smoother more quickly. And I still, as always, I have all that dry flour at the bottom that I'm just mixing in. But even just with that, even though it's a different flour, I'm feeling the difference of that 80% hydration already. Some people find, especially when they're first starting out, that a higher hydration dough is a little bit more difficult to work with, because it can seem like it's more sticky. But I don't know, I prefer, now I'm not pro. I mean, there's bakers out there that are doing 90% and crushing it, and getting a great dough, great stretch and folds, and that's just not me. I'm not there yet. And I'm kind of to the point where I kind of want to get a little bit more consistent results with my basic dough, because I'm a little bit more interested. It's not that I'm not interested in playing around with higher hydrations and stuff, but I'm a little bit more interested in playing around with some flavorings. I'd love to do a cinnamon raisin. I have done a chocolate before, but I'd like to play around with that a little bit. I love the flavors of cinnamon and chocolate together. I would love to do like a really seedy bread. I have done some focaccias where I added like tomatoes and caramelized onions. That was really good. But so I'm really just trying to get to the point where I can make a dough just consistent without trying to challenge myself with the hydration or anything. And I'm just trying to show you here, like as I'm moving it, how much looser an 80% hydration is. I think I've got all the dry dough off the bottom. I'm not going to be able to lift this up and flip it like I did the other one. It's just too loose and too sticky. So that's just part of a higher hydration, but I think it's incorporated really well. This is why I like to do it with my hand, because I can really see and feel mostly what's happening. All right, so try to get as much of that off my hand as possible. And as soon as I clean off my hand, I'll scrape my bowl. I'll put a shower cap over this one, and I'll do number 3. So see you in a minute.